Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Rapid Recap on the Inside Nebraska YouTube page. As Steve Marek, as Greg Smith, I'm Zach Carpenter for Inside Nebraska, and today we experienced Mickey Joseph's first press conference as interim head coach of the Nebraska football team, and I would say, fellas, that the vibe and feel of a Mickey Joseph interim head coach press conference is a little different than Mickey Joseph as a receivers coach, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Like I felt like the same kind of direct energy was there, but the energy overall was definitely a little bit more muted, a little more understated,
A little guarded.
a little more guarded. I think is a great way to describe that. But that's good in my opinion. It shows that he knows that he has to be a little bit different as now the guy in the big chair.
Yeah, just a little shift in what his big shift actually in what his responsibilities are. But yeah, it's being the receivers coach and kind of just focusing on one position group, you can kind of act a certain way. If you're the head coach, you need to change a little something. So I think he's done that. But I don't know about you guys, but there's a certain just excitement around this place right now about what the possibilities are. Kicks it off with Oklahoma. Number 6 Oklahoma coming here this weekend, so he's going to have a heck of a weekend. And I don't know, I just really impressed with the vibe, the excitement going around right now.
Some excitement, some nerves.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of perceived that from Mickey, which was a little different than him as a receivers coach. But I mean, to be completely honest, that's completely understandable that he has some nerves. His first press conference, where, like we said, he's a little guarded. I think he was asked a lot of questions, and it was clear he was not going to give anything away or say anything headline worthy. He kept saying it's bigger than me, it's bigger than just me, or it was kind of reiterating what Trev Albert said on Sunday of this place will always be bigger than one person. But the bigger picture of this season, whether it's going to be addressed in a press conference or not, the entire vibe of the season now centers, like you guys were saying, centers around Mickey Joseph and sort of this 9-game audition for him to be the head coach.
Yeah, and even if it's not, like if he does not end up being the coach, it's also 9 games to kind of start to make steps towards shifting the culture. Like that phrase, culture, or that buzzword has been talked about a lot, but obviously there were a lot of things that needed to change from the Frost era moving forward. Regardless if Mickey ends up being the coach or not, you're going to have to make, Mickey is saying today that, and making a point to say that there will be tackling in practice, like even stuff like that, just start to build just a different mentality within this football program, I think is a real key. It will be interesting to track those changes over these 9 weeks because we got a long runway to figure it out.
And some of those changes that he mentioned, sticking with the offensive side. So Mickey Joseph was previously the wide receivers coach. He's still going to have a presence with the wide receivers, but that role is going to be tasked to Mike Asano, who will become the 10th full-time assistant. Mike Asano was an offensive analyst here for a while. He's been an analyst here for a while, and he kind of helped a lot last November after the firings of the offensive staff. So that's taken care of with the wide receiver. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Joseph also mentioned that defensive coordinator Eric Shenander, who had previously been handling the nickelbacks, he's going to be shifting to the safeties. So Eric Shenander will be coaching the safeties. Travis Fisher, who did the safeties and corners, will just be focusing on the corners now. And then, as Greg reported earlier this morning, special teams coordinator Bill Bush will also be handling the nickels. So he will be taking over the nickelback, where Isaac Gifford has been impressing this season, if you ask me. So, just a lot of changes on the defensive side of the ball, and obviously something needs to change there, right, guys?
Yeah, I thought to say the least.
Yeah.
I thought his explanation about we got a little glimpse of kind of wide receiver coach Mickey when he talked about why it has to be that you need 2 different people to coach corners and safeties. I thought that answer was great. He said Travis has only got 2 eyes, and those are 4 guys back there. Just put it succinctly. It was a really detailed and good answer, but I thought made a lot of sense for where they want to go from here.
Yeah, a lot of changes to that group. I think, like Trev Albert said on Sunday, we needed to inject some sort of energy into this group to sort of give, almost, he didn't say the word hope, I don't think, but give them hope, essentially, going forward. A lot of changes to that group, changes at the top of this program now with Mickey Joseph involved. And he said it's going to come down to wins and losses. When he was asked about sort of this, as I keep calling it, an audition, 9-game audition, he said, like we said earlier, bigger than me, but you're going to be judged by wins and losses, is what he said. And what we've kind of all been talking about off air is there seems like a weight lifted, a pressure lifted. And I know Nate Klaus said on Sunday in his conversation, like, it's a real thing, right? It's a real thing that these guys do not have the pressure of we have to win to save our head coach's job. Now, doesn't it feel like they can just kind of go out and play?
Absolutely. There was the whole Frost situation was hovering over this entire program. Once that loss to Northwestern happened, it was just downhill. You go into halftime against North Dakota, an FCS program tied at 7, and then you lose to Georgia Southern, a Group of 5 team, Sun Belt Conference team. Nothing against Sun Belt Conference teams though, but
they had a good weekend.
Yeah, they had a good
It's
weekend.
all about not disrespecting FCS.
Yeah. No, they're good players.
Man.
They're good players down there, and they obviously
Some
showed
good
that here.
coaches.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, there's obviously just a big storyline hovering over this program, but now it's gone. Energy, like you said, Zach, is injected into this program right now with just kind of a new, fresh person leading the program, and I think he's really well liked. I think a lot of people like Mickey Joseph and what he brings. Obviously, he has an incredible track record of developing wide receivers and offensive talent and putting it into the league. So, yeah, all that stuff outside of the program is gone. Now these guys can just go out, play football, and they have an excellent opportunity in front of them with big bad Oklahoma coming to town.
And they've got an excellent opportunity to get a fresh voice that will provide like a different level of attention to detail. I think that's part of it, is that, like, I think the kids on the team are really looking to be led and looking to get coached, right? And I think that sometimes it feels like watching them, especially this past Saturday, not always put in the best positions to succeed. And I think that having a fresh set of eyes and Mickey Joseph overseeing everything can help them to kind of shore some of that up, or at least give some different opinions on how to do things.
Yep, and I think, Greg, we've talked about it, Steve, we've talked about it, is we've heard from different players that the vibes are good in the locker room.
Yep.
Like, they're confident that Mickey will be able to sort of lead them throughout the rest of the season. And then, like you sort of teased there, Oklahoma, huge game. It could not have happened before a bigger game, I guess, unless it was Iowa.
Yeah.
This game, it's huge. It's going to be essentially, like Jeff Ekstrom mentioned, it's sort of like a Memorial Stadium's own audition to say, hey, this is what it looks like. And I feel like this place is going to be rocking on Saturday,
I think so
because
too.
now you don't have the sort of the cloud hanging over of, oh my God, Scott Frost is still the coach. It's just going to be same old, same
Exactly.
old. There's some sort
After
of new
the
injection.
chants in the student section last
Yep.
week and all of that, yeah.
Exactly. So going forward, one last thing I wanted to hit on, because right before we jumped on, we saw that in the Oklahoma press conferences, the Brent Venables press conference, he made it public that, yes, we were trying to convince Casey Thompson to transfer here in the offseason, winds up at Nebraska. So what do you guys think of the whole Casey Thompson versus Oklahoma narrative? I know a big reason he came here was because of Mickey Joseph, his relationship with Mickey, like he said in the spring when he came here. So what do you think of that sort of whole dynamic?
It was the Wild West during the offseason with these
Yeah,
quarterback
it just reminds
transfers.
me of that, yeah.
I forget that Dylan Gabriel was committed a little bit for a quick cup of coffee at UCLA, and then he went to Oklahoma. And another Husker quarterback that is on the roster right now, Chubba Purdy, visited Oklahoma, did the pictures, did all that at Oklahoma, and obviously Casey Thompson had some interests as well. After his dad and everything and his history with Oklahoma, but it's just kind of funny that 2 Husker quarterbacks were courted by Oklahoma and Jeff Levy, that excellent offensive coordinator down there. So it's funny, but I think Casey Thompson really wants to perform well against this, with all the storylines surrounding him and his dad and kind of his background. It's just going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, it'll be awesome if Casey can go out there and have a great performance. He can talk a little trash to Dad.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I'm sure that's something we all like to do, right? So I think that'd be really fun. That storyline, until we got to today, because so much has been going on, had not occurred to me. So that will be really fun to kind of see that sort of stuff pick up. We won't get to talk to Casey or anyone else before the week is over, but that will be a fun thing to kind of keep an eye on Saturday.
And like you said, Greg, Jeff Levy's coming into Memorial Stadium on Saturday. He is one of the names that we've reported is one of the many, many candidates for the Nebraska head coaching job, along with Mickey Joseph and several other names that, like Matt Campbell, Matt Rule, Dave Doran, Lance Leipold, that we've all been reporting on yet Sunday, Monday, today on Nebraska.rivals.com and our insiders board. A lot of key news coming every single day, whether it's rumors, more hot board updates, or additions, subtractions from that. Guys interested in the job, guys that Nebraska wants to pursue. We'll be keeping track of all of that going forward on the message board and on our site. Right now we're running a 30-day free trial for our website, nebraska.rivals.com. If you go to the sign-up page, enter code all caps Huskers30 for a free 30-day free trial. But that's going to wrap it up here for us. For Steve Marek, Greg Smith, I'm Zach Carpenter, and thanks again for joining us.